So what does the president's latest cabinet reshuffle mean for brand Zuma? Does it come across as powerful and proactive or indecisive and desperate? Well, to help answer some of these questions, we're joined by marketing strategist Clive Simpkins. Good morning, Clive. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so I'm fascinated. I just want to start with this because it's been bothering me since I watched it yesterday. As President Zuma finishes the short press conference yesterday, he says, "I thank you," looking very serious, and goodbye. And then he leaves. Normally we tend to see him sometimes with a bit of a smile, a bit of a chuckle. I mean, was that the seriousness of the occasion for him, or do you think that reflects from a perception perspective that this is some burdensome problem?
No idea at all, actually, because he clearly didn't want to take questions, and we didn't get the trademark giggle, as you said. It was just a pretty abrupt departure. But for me, the whole thing sends pretty poor signals, because any chief executive, and he's chief executive of Brand South Africa, who changes his executive team 4 times within the space of 5 years, doesn't look good for one simple reason in the main, and that is he's either, in my opinion, a terrible judge of character and competence, or he's a lousy leader, because it means he's either employing the wrong people, or when he's got those people there and they are the right people, he can't manage them properly.
Now, if he was planning to come across as decisive, just to that point, he should have acted like on somebody like Dinapule, who there's been a big question mark, allegations of corruption in the department, and a delay in the launch of digital television and the whole DGT process. He should have acted earlier. So it's not really making him look like a very decisive CEO.
Danny waits too long. You know, Dinapule's saga with her boyfriend and funding and Indabas in Durban and so on have gone on for too long. And that, I think, is one of his weak points. He tends to tolerate mediocrity to the point where people start to really ridicule and deride it, and only then does he act on it. So that wasn't good either.
And it's very interesting that when everybody has been talking and complaining about the basic education minister, Angie Motshega, and speculation yesterday ahead of the announcement was, is she staying, is she out, and she's still staying.
Look, Stephen Groothuis on Radio 702 says that Angie's got a bum rap. Stephen's view on it is that Angie, in fact, is not responsible for the absence of textbooks in Limpopo. That, to me, is absolute rubbish. The point is that, again, if you are the CEO of a corporation, she's CEO of a ministry, the CEO is where the buck stops. So if one of your subordinates is not getting themselves organized and they're not delivering books, you ultimately, however, are the person who carries the can for that. So this thing of passing the buck and blaming other people is a culture that is inappropriate to good governance, which is what yesterday was supposed to have been about.
Yeah. If Zuma's actions showing that maybe he's not a good judge of character or abilities and stuff, we're going to be left wondering about the people who are coming in now, you know, especially in the communications ministry, because, you know, we as a television channel are directly affected and fall under that, especially on the digital thing. And we know that Yunus Karim is a hard-working man, but he's only got about 8 months or so before the elections. The timing wise, I mean, if you're managing perceptions and you're managing your leadership style, I mean, was it necessary really, you think?
Timing is very bad, because if you take anybody and you put them in the job at the helm of a major business, and essentially those ministries are a major business, there's a huge lead time and a lag time without the benefit of any mentoring, of handing over, of somebody being joined to the hip and assisting one, for example. So the sheer logistics of moving, for example, if you take transport and energy ministry swapping, that's a massive thing to do. So with 10 months to the election, I don't know how that's going to play out in government's favor.
Okay, the fact that he's taking too long, he doesn't act very quickly and stuff like that, we understand. But I mean, he has taken some action. Dinapule is now out. Toko Sekgwale was an interesting one, but with the politics around his positioning in Polokwane in 2007 and in Mangaung going for the presidency, maybe, you know, he's like a competitor there. And the housing department, the human settlements department, as they call it now, was not really firing on all cylinders. No surprises there.
You know, bottom line to Tokyo is, I'm afraid, within the ANC, ambition gets punished. Not a covert ambition, but overt ambition. So when you state your ambition, you get into terrible trouble. And we've known that for a long time. So it's somehow or other Tokyo never got the memo on that. And he's done it twice. He did it to try and unseat Mbeki. He's tried to unseat President Zuma. He's now in a political backwater. Fortunately, successful business person, so I suppose it doesn't matter too much other than to his ego.
Okay, you, me, and 50 million other South Africans, we are employees of South Africa Inc. Our CEO has made a decision to change the people who are leading certain businesses in SA Inc. What does this do to brand SA, in your view?
I think it looks, if I were to distance myself and try and look at this internationally, I think, gosh, number one, too slow to react, and number two, poor timing. Number three, why don't you get a team together and consolidate them and look at people like the wonderful Dr. Aaron Motshega, in my opinion, our National Minister of Health, who really delivers, and look at people based on competence, not based on cronyism, not based on loyalty to the ANC, not based on, by the way, whether or not they have the potential to do damage to you, like Fikile Mbalula, if you gave him the boot.
Okay, thank you very much. That's marketing strategist Clive Simpkins.